to understand where we are in the world right now when this gets released next year.
Timeline.
Where we are in this timeline, we just released episode 20. I was going to say the newest episode. What is it? 23? 25? 26? One of those numbers.
Mid-20s.
Camp 22, episode 3.
That's a lie. Bro, I'm
Seth
your biggest
may
fan.
have listened before.
Come on. I'm just kidding. That was a lie.
Thatcher is our biggest fan. That's true.
Thatcher Scott.
Yeah, but we just released that episode. What was it? It was what's the intro of that song, Barker? Oh yeah. This is my last
I'm
resort.
going to have to look up to find you guys.
Episode 28. WAWTAT.
I know, but like...
If you look that up, you will find
I
it.
call it WAWTAP, and it's WAWTAT.
TAT, yeah.
Yeah.
Today.
TATU. That's one of my favorite bands of all
Okay,
time.
there we go.
TATU.
Yeah, have you ever heard
Tadu?
of them? No, it's TATU.
I don't know.
When I was in middle school, high school, they had a song. All the things you said, all the things you said, running through my head, running through my head.
I know the song, yeah.
Yeah, that's them.
All the things you said.
6.
This is not enough.
Yeah, I think so. I should have it.
The record show. Andrew just staring at me singing while I was trying to figure out what Parker was doing across the room. I just looked back and he is still going at it. 28, yeah, you said 26. I said 23, 24. You were closer. I am the one I literally uploaded it yesterday and I forgot. But yeah, we just uploaded that. I have a lot more editing, but that, I don't know if you haven't listened to it yet.
I've not got to it, no. I'll get to it. I got time tomorrow.
It's going to be maybe impossibly quiet.
That's perfect. That way you'll get you're welcome.
Mason put in all the things he said. TATU. And you'll know what that means, Mason. Andrew lost mic privilege.
Andrew's lost mic privilege.
This was like when we were playing video games and you had your Discord. It was he had the sound like noise gate up so that like nothing would play while he's talking. And so I joined the call and he was in it and I could hear like random noises and it wasn't loud or anything, but Mason, have that song playing gently in the background this whole time. Literally, it was a minute of silence. And I was like, Andrew, you there? Hey, you there, bud?
I could hear you the whole time.
I know you could hear
I was
me.
playing a song. I was hoping it was just vibing for you, and it turned out Discord like blocks all things fun.
Yes, Discord blocks all things fun.
Or sponsor WAWTAT.
That's classic.
Discord should sponsor WAWTAT.
For the song.
WAWTAT.
Yeah.
I know you guys better make money off this.
We're not
We
actually.
don't.
We haven't put an ad in the last 5 episodes. You just pass back and forth.
Just because I would, but I'm isolated.
You're very far away. Remember to hold it to your mouth.
I'm the first. Well, I was fine.
We are sharing a couch as if this would be a filmed
Yeah,
podcast
actually, that's
style
true.
episode. And
True.
Seth
And
I
this
are
is like
your
the
guests.
first time you guys have actually met.
Well, the funny thing is like we're sitting like inches away from each other on a couch, and we literally met in your car like an hour ago.
Where they were also
Crazy
inches
first
away
date.
from each other.
Crazy
Wild
first
first date.
Crazy vibes right now.
Oh man. Well, welcome, ladies
Well-
and gentlemen, to the What Are We Talking About Today podcast.
Well, I'm welcome. What are we talking about today, Mace?
Boys with their hearts in their mouths, so I hadn't had the heart to spit it out. That I'm smitten with my worries and my doubts.
I was invited to this episode actually. I was told you guys had a plan.
Parker has a plan.
That's true. This is the day.
This was the brainchild of Parker and Andrew.
Mm.
This feels like months in the making.
It is months in the making.
Almost a
every
year.
WAWTAT episode is.
Everywhere. And then even after that's gonna be more months in the making.
I'm gonna forget we recorded this podcast.
Our episodes are months in the making and then months incubating.
Yeah, that's true.
And then
Little chicks just appearing into the hot light.
yeah, exactly.
Little chicks peering in the hot light.
Other things to say.
My name
Cool.
is Mason Sayre of WAWTAT fame.
Right. Mason from Cameras, also Bear Crawl, but
Bear Crawl.
Bear
Yep.
Paw. I can't even. It's not even. Okay.
It's just a faint idea of people that I worked there before. And then you are.
Parker,
Yep.
Glug.
Yep.
That's sufficient.
We got Gulp last episode that I posted.
Yeah, from
which was-
Trey.
yeah, that was
He
that was
called
wild.
me. So remember Trey? I introduced myself to him and I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm Glug," and he was like, "Huh?" Like he couldn't hear me, so he was like, "What did you say? Gulp?" So I'm like,
Yep.
That works,
Got
yeah.
it in one.
"Gulp." Yep.
And then if you two would.
Okay, I'm Seth from Young Martian
Hey.
in the house. I
Stitch
kind
in
of
some Young Martian audio.
I crashed
have your
this
permission?
podcast. I don't think anyone but Parker knew I was gonna be here, so I
He called me earlier today and was like, "Is it okay if Seth is here?" I was like, "I don't. Why would I care?" Like, yes, it would be awesome for him to be there.
I was
Why
like-
would I be mad if he was there though?
Well, because we don't have the full Young Martian, but
That's true. We're putting in the Christmas song.
Yep.
100%.
Baby, it's Christmas. There's snow on the reef. Your glasses are foggy. So just follow me. And we can take a minute and fake being busy tonight. We'll enjoy the view while watch you watching something you like. 'Cause baby, it's Christmas. I don't need a wish list.
top 3 favorite songs from Young Martian: Puppy Eyes, Fallen in Love at Christmas,
Sure.
17.
Sure.
Actually, Wrong and
Wow.
Right. No, Wrong and Right is better than 17, but 17 is a close fourth.
okay.
I don't remember the names of any song.
And then July is a close fifth.
Who July's pretty good.
July bops.
Let's see here. Okay.
Song about a girl. And I liked Then There's You,
That's a good one.
Fallen in Love. What'd you have on your summer album? We listened to this a bunch at camp back in the day.
Yeah, I loved
Was it
Summer.
Vibes?
Vibes was really good. Overture and Outro's a banger, which is just a
You know it's a
collection of
bad EP
everything.
when their favorite song is the interlude. I'm just saying,
The interlude and the outro song.
bro. Just saying. The instrumental, bro. You guys
Remember when
killed
you guys
it.
weren't singing?
You guys killed it on that preset instrumental.
You know what's bad when everyone's favorite part of the concert was when the band left and took a 5-minute break,
Yes.
and it was just the cover guy on the piano keys.
Oh no.
Bro, that song you literally did nothing but push buttons on a MacBook. That's my favorite.
No, I mean well, that's some lore, but I Love You to the Moon, and that's just the beginning. That's a banger.
great one. Yeah.
That's a really good one, and that has some good plot for me too.
I think, quite honestly, that might be a lot of people's least favorite on the EP.
Really?
Yeah. Which
I
kind of it
love
surprised us
you
too
to
because it's
the
more of
moon.
our like almost 60s feel ish.
That's pretty fun.
Kind of like old beats. And
What
stuff,
was Thatcher's song on Hazel?
but Song About a Girl?
Song About a Girl.
Yeah.
I love Song About a Girl.
I was telling Seth about this earlier. That every time I listen to that song and he talks about the golf cart, it reminds me of me, John Michael, and Jared on the golf cart when we were filming SEAL Team Thick.
Which you can find on our YouTube channel.
Dude, John
WAWTAT.
Watched it today.
Yeah.
WAWTAT YouTube. You watched it today?
I watched it today. Yes.
Yep.
No joke.
Good.
Yep.
It's an important note.
Yep.
Yep.
That and the ambulance.
Yes. Which was also a brainchild of Andrew.
That was a brainchild of Andrew. Was Ambulance.
Yes.
It was a brainchild of my son.
Mm.
What?
Mm.
I stole it from him.
Yeah. Liam was like, Blippy, Michael Bay, combine, and Andrew was like, "Oh."
Nice head Parker, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I love all of the Young Martian songs. I have 20 of them liked in Spotify. I think that might be all of them. I don't actually have Falling in Love at Christmas liked, but that's because
such
I
a
use
good
my liked playlist as like what I actually listen to. So when Christmas music pops up, I immediately take it off. I'm like, nope, that's not the vibe.
I think it spoke to me because I think of music in seasons.
Sure.
Like, certain albums remind me of certain seasons. So if stuff is, like, specifically about that season, that's just going to trigger for me even more. So,
Yeah.
Sure.
I liked it.
Yeah, we almost put this album out in like November.
Hazel?
Yeah, we almost put Hazel out in November, and then
That
when it
makes
kind
sense.
of got to the week of release, we like still weren't fully done with like editing and stuff. So we were like,
I get that.
yeah, editing takes a bit.
Editing
Shout
does
out to
take a
Grady.
bit.
A big shout out to Grady because he does all the editing.
Some
and
chicks need a
it's-
little more time under the heat lamp. Get that. Get that.
Yeah, but then
You get that, Andrew, from all your editing time?
Dude, in elementary school, we spent a lot of time raising chicks.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
But, yeah. No, it just got too close to Christmas then because we kept pushing it back. So we were like, let's just put it out beginning of next year. Cause
No, it was awesome.
yeah.
I like all those songs.
Dope.
Yeah, pretty good. And then last to introduce themselves.
I'm
Well,
Andrew.
we already said your name a few times.
Yeah, Andrew.
Yep.
Moving on.
Just yeah, moving on.
I don't know if I have any lore. I've been on this before. A couple camp episodes.
Okay.
And,
Yeah, Andrew, you've been here before.
I had my sneak attack. Is
That was
probably
the greatest introduction to this podcast.
my lore.
Greatest character introduction was Andrew's. Yeah. Have you heard Andrew's podcast debut?
No.
It's really good. I would recommend listening to it. Do you know what number it is?
It's camp, not last year.
Camp
but year
21.
before. So probably episode 22.
We're at 28. Yeah, it is called Commit to the Bit, whatever that is.
I basically hid in my office probably an hour
An hour.
because they would record right out in like the main area there.
We were making a joke that Andrew would not get on before
Forever.
his wife and son.
Mm.
Daughter was not born at this
Yeah,
point.
she was just
We
twinkle.
were like, we want Nicole and we want Liam on the podcast before we get Andrew on because we thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And so instead, Andrew was like, I'm taking matters in my own hands. Hid in his office for an hour while we were
Say goodnight
recording.
to everyone.
Wow.
Dipped.
He was fully convinced that we knew he was in his office and we were pretending to record the podcast.
Oh. Turn up.
So we
I
kept
waited.
waiting.
I gotta just
Wow.
wait until I know, because either they're committing to the bit or I'm over committing to the bit.
Yeah.
Either way, this bit's happening and we're gonna figure this out.
There's a word for that, and it starts with para and ends with noia.
Paramore.
Yes. Play some Paramore.
Still.
So much music in this episode. Do one of you want to? We're just so much further away. I just also let the record show. I just bought a new microphone, so we're gonna have 4 next time we
Sick.
record.
Sweet. Because we usually end up with either no guests or 2.
Yeah,
Somehow.
it is weird. Well, because Jared always
Oh,
breaks
yes,
in.
True. He's
We're like, yeah, we have one guest, and then Jared kicks in the door. He's like, I'm also here.
which is crazy because I feel like half the time he shows up, I didn't even mention anything.
I
to him.
didn't either. I don't know how he just knows.
I think it would be when he lived here, he would see cars out
Yeah.
and immediately just be like, "Oh, Parker's recording.
Yeah.
Let's go."
Instantaneously FOMO is what would happen to him.
Yes,
That's fair.
that's what we call extrovert tenoia.
Good one.
Okay.
Extra more.
So
Speaking of paranoia, Mason. Big announcement. What a great
bad intro.
Speaking of Christmas, you have a special announcement for all.
Sure, we can
all your
intro like that.
fans at home.
Definitely Christmas themed.
Yeah.
No, in no way. I mean,
It was wintry.
maybe down like 7. What is the thing where like 7 points of like disconnect, where like you can connect things?
Oh, like the 6 spaces of bacon or whatever it is. Like
Yeah,
but,
like you can-
everyone is connected to Kevin Bacon from like 6 people.
Yeah.
Yep.
That in that sort of way of like Christmas, God, marriage. Anyways, I got
Easter.
engaged.
Let's go.
Emma and I got engaged. It's very exciting. It was a good time. All right.
That's the story, man.
Okay, and I don't think you guys have heard this story. So I
Mason and Emma sitting in a tree. KISSING.
yeah, like legally though. It checks out.
EYECONTACTING.
We're hoping to get married next year.
Ooh.
Maybe
This
after
podcast
this
comes out.
podcast episode comes out.
He's gonna. The prelude to this episode is gonna be, hey, so
Why did you nail the hey so well?
I actually am married now, just for my wife, so she knows.
Hey, thanks for listening to this episode of WAWTAT. So, but yeah, so the comments.
That's why I nailed it.
Yeah,
He does it. All
I
the
do it.
time.
I've done it many a times.
It's like Jared's or that kind of thing. That
Yeah,
sort of a thing.
yeah, where he just is like, that's too much thought process. I'm just gonna send it and end that idea and move on to the next one.
Yeah, my day at work was okay. I just kind of came home, said hi to Amanda, said hi to Teddy, took a nap, that sort of a thing. Yeah.
That is literally his movement to I did a more interesting thing, but here's the rest of the stuff that I did before it.
Yes.
Oh. Anywho, yeah, so I got in contact with 2 of her friends that she did not know I had contact with. One that was from college downstate, and one friend that she recently made. And they've been like quickly besties. And so got in contact with both of them through Instagram. And it was like, hey, want to help me with the proposal? And they're like, 100%. So
You knew who you were when you reached
yeah,
out.
yeah,
Okay.
both of them knew. I was
They just thought he was some random dude.
I was like, this is a weird question, and I don't know you, but would you like to help me propose to my girlfriend?
They're both like, she can say no. We don't have to.
We
vet
don't
this
like
guy
you,
for-
actually. So I reached out to them, and then the one friend, Rachel. Thank you so much, Rachel. I know you're probably
I'm
not
sorry.
listening to this podcast, but
Obligatory.
I'm eternally
Where's
grateful.
Rachel?
Where's Rachel? Parker's holding his head in his hands. He's made the greatest joke he thinks he's ever heard. So Rachel is a hairstylist and has a friend who is a photographer. And so she told Emma, she was like, hey, would you like to do like a photo shoot? Not like a full like model and pose type thing, but my friend is going to be taking pictures of the commons for a Traverse City magazine of like what to do in Traverse City. Would you like to just hang out? We just need people to like post up to pretend to like fill out the space because it's winter. So like, anyways, and so
The commons would look eerie in the winter.
correct without anyone in it.
Yeah.
It's also the only thing to do in Traverse City.
Yeah, it's just walk around.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Go to Meyer. Walk around
Yep.
in Meyer. Anywho, not the mall. Mall's probably closed.
If you go to the mall, you may as well. It's like
You can go to the 3 stores that are still open in the mall. Not City Mag, of House of City Mag.
if.
R.I.P..
By the way, if you've seen the restaurant they put the store they put in place of City Mac, it's literally the same.
It's the exact same store,
They
except
have
it's not
changed
Apple
anything.
sanctioned.
So if you're missing City Mac,
It's called Mac City.
Mac City.
Yeah.
Mac City.
it's called Traveroni.
Is that true?
No, 'cause Mac. I thought it was a good joke, like macaroni.
Yeah.
Like okay,
Chavaroni.
Traveroni.
That's
yeah.
good.
Mac-
Rachel?
Where's Rachel?
Where's she?
Also, I don't know if you guys see my scratch under my eye.
Yeah, we don't care about that.
My cat
You got
scratched me.
engaged?
Yeah, I got engaged. Sorry, that story. Yeah, you guys interrupt me, and they're like, "Go back to your story now."
It's called narcissism. Get used
My
to
joke
it.
is better than what you're saying, but get back to what you were saying. Yeah, so Rachel set that whole thing up, which was super awesome. It was her idea too. I was like, I just want, maybe you can do like her hair so that she'll like feel like pretty and nice. But she basically, upon doing that, allowed Emma to dress up as nice as she would want to for photos that would go out to the world, which I thought was brilliant. And made sure like her hair was done and all that stuff. So then I showed up early with Rachel and her other friend Tori from downstate. Tori was kind of just there to be a surprise for Emma, just be like a fun like, haha, look who's helping out. This isn't it cute. Anyway, so yeah, we. It sounded like such a dismissive sentence. Yeah, it's cute. Go on.
Like, gently, like, it is cute.
So there's a path next to the old state hospital.
That's so cute.
There's a path next to the old state hospital in the Commons. This is where I asked Emma to be my girlfriend. So this is why it was like a significant area. Yeah. Gosh, I hate this.
This is where I asked her, so, we doing this?
Are we doing this? Yeah, so I had Tori posted up down the path, turned around, hood up, kind of like taking video of the building to make it look like she was just a random pedestrian that they would like walk past. And then Rachel was going to lead her down the path to where her friend was supposed to be. Now that friend actually exists and like has an Instagram page of like all the pictures she's taken, but couldn't show up that day to like actually take pictures and stuff. So we're like, that's fine. Like Rachel can just take pictures. Tori can like take a video of the whole thing. And so it was going really well. We all showed up early, and then there's a little like near the path. It was like around a corner of a building, and in that corner of a building, there was a little like walk staircase downwards. For like, if I stood up, it'd like show my chest up, but if I crouched down, I would be hidden away, and then I could walk up behind her on the path, tap her on the shoulder, be like, "Hey, what up?" Which is
what I
almost
did.
ring, take it. What an amazing joke. Ring, take it. But yeah, so I crouched in that stairwell, and we were all texting each other. And the first thing was like, okay, she'll be here in like 5 minutes. She just texted me. I was like, okay, perfect. She wasn't texting me. She didn't know I was there. So she texted Rachel. Rachel texted the rest of us that like Emma was
What you were doing all day?
I had work. I didn't do it.
Oh yeah, you have a job.
Yeah, I don't work at Bear Paw. But then I also was like, yeah, after work I'm gonna go hang out with Chris, our friend who's in the hospital. And I was like, I'm just gonna go hang out with him and wait for you to be done with whatever thing you're doing, and then I'll like hang out with you after. She's like, okay, perfect. So she wasn't expecting me, especially because I made the plans with Chris while she was there to go hang out with him again, and then retexted him after. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I can't actually come to this. I will hang out later though. He's like, fully understand. So I
friends.
told him, yeah. He's one of Emma's great friends.
Shout out Chris.
Shout out Chris Kropa.
Chris Gang,
Thanks for
up.
being a great friend. You can hang out soon. Chris Gang.
Hashtag Chris real friend.
So I was.
Fresh egg, we stand a Chris.
Hashtag Chrissy wake up.
Did you know that the person that played Chrissy is a Twitch streamer who like actively plays a ton of video games?
Yeah, she quit acting though. That's a real. We don't want to talk about it on this podcast. That's a really sad story.
Yeah, but
Really?
you got engaged?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, back to me getting engaged. I didn't know that. I know she was at the Streamer Awards, which was a fun thing.
I had no
Different.
idea.
That's for a different podcast. Anyways, I was crouched in this pit, and there was a little door, and I was sitting on the step coming out of it, and the door opened and it hit my leg, and a lady just went, "Oh, sorry, just coming through here. Sorry to kick you out of your secret spot."
You were homeless.
No, I was dressed up, so like she must have thought like I was a worker
You
there,
got
and
a
I was
job
just like
interview coming
needed.
up?
Yeah, right, like something like that. And then I was like, "Oh, it's okay." She's like, "I have a tour group coming through." And I was like, okay." So I held the door, and 30 people walked out. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, "Okay, they're just gonna walk away." They're going to go to some separate path. They went and came out where I was standing and just stood on the path.
They just amoeba'd around.
They
Emma.
want to watch.
literally, they stood there on the path. And she was like, all right, Emma's 10 minutes out. And I was like, there's a tour group standing on the path. So I love Emma. She would be so
We gleaned.
she would be so anxious if
Who's Emma in the story?
she'd be so anxious if anyone watched this happen because she hates being the center of attention. The fact that I had her 2 friends there was like maxing out that. And so crouch in this pit, 30 people standing on the path, and I was just staring at them. I was like, do I like tell them I need them to leave or something? Luckily, very last second, she's like, okay, Emma's showing up in a minute. I was like, okay. And I was watching them, and they're like, so this is the building and like all these different things. And then they end up walking away. I was like, yes, 1 minute beforehand. And so as they were leaving, Emma showed up, and their initial plan was go to a coffee shop, but that coffee shop was closed. Yeah, Higher Grounds. It was closed at that time. And so their plan initially was go do it. I knew it was closed beforehand, and so did the rest of us. And so they were just going to walk down the path. And then a dog walker started coming through, like, way down the path. And we were like, dear gosh. And Tori was like, you got to stall. And so she took her to Higher Grounds and was like, oh, it's closed. And I was like, yeah, I could have told you that on Google Maps and said it was closed. I thought we were just going to not do this. And she's like, oh, man, all right, well. And then Tori was like, all right, clear. And she's like, all right, let's go meet up with my friend. And so Rachel apparently was a fantastic actor, so thank you very much, Rachel. Probably not at all sounded like what I just said, which was cringy.
I'm picturing it.
Yeah. So they ended up
She
walking.
handled it.
She handled it. It's been handled.
Good handling.
She walked down the path and got to Tori. Tori turned around, still videotaping to like get the whole thing. And I was like, what are you doing here? She took her hood down and everything. It went perfectly as planned in the end. I ended up walking up behind her. She says I like grabbed her shoulder. I thought I tapped her on the shoulder, but
You're probably nervous.
she was also in overtime. I was probably also in overtime. And then went through that whole interaction. It was adorable. She freaked out and in like the most Emma way, which was like sneaky was the word she said first, and then she pointed at all 3 of us, and I was like, yep, it was sneaky.
So
yeah.
cute, buddy.
So it was cute, and now I'm engaged, and Emma's on spring break right now, and I'm missing her a ton with her family. So
You got us and T-Bell, though.
we did get T-Bell. That is a good counterpoint, I guess.
Bro, what a sad night.
Bro, what a sad night.
Seth is like writing a song about that.
Seth,
Just
write this
Okay,
got
down.
I got you.
I just got engaged, but she's on spring break.
Keep going.
So I'm hanging out with these dweebs
And eating Taco Bell.
in a bag full of Bell.
That they messed the order up.
But it's not the Bell that I want.
Oh, a lovely little song there.
Lovely little serenade.
Yeah, thanks for the serenade.
Well, congratulations, Mason.
Thank you.
Congrats, buddy.
Thanks.
Yeah, sorry, that was incredible. That was really sweet.
Thank
It's
you.
kind of rare that like people get engaged at like 17.
Are you
What?
Are you gonna remember each other
What?
when you're 70 like you were 17?
Ideally, we're gonna remember each other when we were 70, like we're 17.
So promise me
I'm
honestly.
23, but
I got you.
But here, one thing though, promise me honestly that
Yeah.
you'll always talk to me.
mm.
Autumn leaves falling, but fall don't mean falling, but following. Constantly calling. The thought of you leaving is a hard pill to swallow. Please see me tomorrow. And I broke the flow, so now I can't remember the rest of it. Oh yeah, or watch as I drown in my sorrow. Drama queen, probably
This just turns into a young Martian concert. Oh
All right,
gosh! Oh my gosh!
We almost saw Parker's T-Bell.
In the spirit of the Easter season.
Parker walked away, remembered that there was microphones after a lot of hands gestures, and then walked back.
In the spirit of the Easter season, we almost saw that Parker's Taco Bell resurrected.
3 hours instead of 3 days. Amazing. So good.
All right, Park, we doing this?
Anywho, yeah, that's
Yeah.
hard cut. Hard cut.
30 minutes later.
We could honestly start a new episode at this point.
We could. Do you want to? Save it.
We've
as a
been
new
we've
episode?
been recording for about a half an hour because I forgot I turned on 11 minutes
That's
before
the
we
length-
truly started talking.
That's the length that our owner prefers.
Mo?
Yeah.
He's
Isn't that when we reorganized the podcast
those are easily
company
listening.
and he became he's our top investor.
He's our top investor.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on the board of directors.
So that's the way he likes it.
Yeah, but he owns he's on the board, but
Wait,
then
let's
we
do
own
this.
the board.
Cut it in here. So
I'll
Mason,
make the
out of 10,
executive-
I'm gonna rate your engagement.
Oh, yeah.
On a cuteness scale, I'm gonna give it a 9 because of the all the lore
Okay.
involved in it.
Thanks. Wow, 9's really good.
Yeah, I think it's special. Plus
Couldn't-
you guys
Wasn't
engaged.
perfect though.
Wasn't perfect because of the dog walker.
It was
I could not control
The
that.
dog walker. Here's what's crazy. We're talking in the world of rom-coms. The dog walker is an ex.
Mmm. It was a woman though. Was the issue?
Your ex.
One of my exes.
Yes. And
Wow.
then you have to propose in front of her.
I would have been fine with
the
that.
love of your life.
I would have been like,
That would have been a 10.
look what I'm doing.
That would have been a 10.
Okay, I see. Hallmark worthy. I see.
So cuteness
So-
9. You guys cuteness 10.
Gotcha.
You guys seem to work well together. My son likes you guys, even though he
You're
called
s-
Emma for the longest time girl.
Girl.
He's
Is
like,
is the girl coming?
I'm playing with Mason and what's her name? Girl. Like, yeah. So.
Liam is like,
Where's the girl?
So yeah, overall, I give it a 9.5. Mace, good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey Parker, what would you rate it? With your
I'm not engaged.
With your experience on getting engaged.
with my experience in getting engaged.
Yeah. All the times you've done it.
Well, it was a different state. It was a different time.
What would you just say? Just heartthrob number.
You're watching it on Apple TV. What are you thinking yourself?
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I think
You're listening to it on the podcast.
if it was perfect, it wouldn't be good, right? Like if it went
Yeah.
exactly perfect,
Yep.
that
Yeah.
would ruin it.
That
Like that would
makes
bring
it
the
good.
score down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
So,
like
the
the
fact-
tour group coming through, that was super interesting. and
But the
stuff.
thing is,
Yeah.
the imperfections were the right kind.
Yeah.
Where it's not like it was you.
It didn't
messing
mess it up, and I
it
did-
was
yeah.
other factors, and then you showed the grace and maneuverability to flex around them.
I held the door for them.
And the
Gentleman and a scholar in the moment of, by this point, the biggest part of your life.
yeah the
Honestly,
group-
the wild part is that might have been currently to date the biggest thing I've done in my
That
life.
and leaving Bear Paw. It's the two biggest decisions you've ever made.
the fact that the group was able to work together, even though you barely like knew some of them,
that was
Like
the
that
first like
camaraderie.
full time I was talking to them in person was then.
and
Decisions.
and the two.
To be fair, actually, when I left Bear Paw, it was a conscious decision because I wanted to go into the IT world.
Wow.
So I consciously left it for my forever
Wow,
jobs.
so it was a decision.
It was.
So honestly, you're not wrong, even though that's a fantastic joke still.
Wow.
Maybe it wasn't a joke, guys. Maybe I was being serious.
Maybe it's funny because it's true.
mm.
Anyway, you know those mating videos, like
I don't wanna know
nature,
where this is going.
nature mating videos, like the birds dancing and stuff. Like they do their mating rituals,
I should have danced.
and they're
Yes.
supposed to like swoon
Yeah.
the female. Yeah, that's like what your whole thing was. It's like, hey, look at how
Much time
immaculate
and
of
effort
a
I put in.
plan that
Mm.
I can use to make you question your reality for this 15-minute moment. Are you impressed? And she was like, yeah. Yeah. Sneaky.
Sneaky.
So I give it. I just can't vibe with the State Theater, like the State Common Ground.
Why?
I don't know. It just seems.
'Cause you worked
interesting.
near there?
It just seems like an interesting location. But it has a
Scared.
personal connection, so I think that redeems it. It's just personal taste. I'm not going to let that get in the way of my rating.
Do you not like it?
I'll give you a 10.
You think it's
I'll give it a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
But I don't know.
If
'cause
you're
I'm not
questioning
good.
it, it shouldn't be a 10.
You said the thing can't be perfect. That's why I gave 9.5. I said 9.5. I said average is
But
out, 9.5.
I have the
It's graded
internal
on a
need
scale.
Yeah.
to be more positive than Andrew. So 10 it is.
Fair enough.
Seth.
Okay. I'm gonna be the weird one. Okay. I'll give it an 8.7.
Get out.
Okay. So
He's like, I'm going to give it a
Straightest comment.
1.7, but only because.
okay. So here's the thing, right? You said who was the actor? Rachel? Is that what you said?
Rachel?
That was like.
I mean,
when-
she's not an actor by trade. She's
Well,
a
yeah,
hairdresser.
But like, she led her to the coffee shop that she
Yeah.
knew was closed,
yeah.
and then acted on that.
Yeah.
Well, so that brings it up from an 8 to an 8.4, right? And then all the imperfections made it way more perfect.
He added intrigue.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
Because if you were just crouching on that staircase with nothing happening,
Yeah.
there's no, like, I mean, obviously there's the fear of proposing, but like,
Sure.
there's no other fear because you're just like, it's just me, and this is like totally fine. But since you had 30 people walk and still had the audacity to hold the door,
Every single one.
Every
And every
single
single one thanked me.
you didn't shut the door after the first 15.
They were the Canadian. They were the Canadian tour group.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank
And
you.
then still went on with it and didn't freak out. That brings it to the 8.7.
Okay.
That is
Hey,
pretty, that
hey,
is pretty
thanks.
Yes,
I
you're
appreciate
welcome.
that. I'll do it better next time. I don't know.
Whoa! Hey, remove that from the podcast.
No, when I like get married. That's the next time.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's gonna be like,
Crouching in
feel
a
like this
gutter
has
at the
happened
state
before.
hospital.
Is he going to walk down the aisle? No, he'll appear from a staircase somewhere. I don't know where the staircase is, but
she's like, Higher Grounds is closed. Why is Rachel here again?
we didn't invite her.
So funny. Yeah.
Incredible.
Thank you. Thank you all for your input. I know only one of you have actually proposed.
Marriage.
Marriage.
Can I officiate it?
I don't know. I guess you could
I'll
fight.
Yeah.
When one Cinnabon is hard and one Cinnabon is soft,
We're done.
love and
I'm leaving.
anyways, yeah, we can I guess we'll just talk about my engagement and then end this episode. I guess if I really want to, I can edit these two together in the long run.
I
If,
think
if
this
I
is
don't feel
good.
like it's enough content.
No, I think that's a huge life event. So it deserves, but at
It is a fun
minimum,
one.
it deserves its own episode of our podcast.
Of the podcast you and I own.
Yes. Yes.
Margaret, I'm just waiting for your life stuff to happen. You got a new job.
He needs a life first.
Don't hold your breath.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we get each other.
Yeah.
We just need you on for those like
Um,
quick comments.
Yeah. Only when it comes to Parker.
Wait,
I
we
should
could-
bring Parker. The
You can
easy-
roast me at any
We
time.
could have a
oh, yeah,
proposal
true.
story live on the podcast.
What are you trying to say?
Promise
Back
me
out, back out,
honestly.
back out, back out.
Who's Emma?
What? Ema?
Edna.
Parker, you got a new job. You want to touch on that at all, or we can wait for next episode?
Are we ending this episode?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, let's. Rorschach's Journal. March 30th, 2023.
Let it cook.
I cannot believe my eyes when I see 1,000 fireflies. When the Taco Bell people took out a burrito and replaced it with a chalupa. As I fall asleep.
And that's it? As established, that is one of 3 songs you have downloaded on your phone. Are you sleeping? He's falling asleep like Fireball.